Hi everyone, my name is David Clam. I'm here to moderate this exciting session about the value of the cloud. So welcome to you to this 15-minute slot where we'll be discussing with a panel of experts how using the cloud is becoming more and more valuable to insurers. So I'd like to start by asking each of the panelists to introduce themselves. So starting with Ralph, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, hi, David. Thanks for inviting us. I'm with AWS, and I lead our global strategy for our insurance partners. That includes systems integrators and ISVs like yourself.
Ralph, thanks very much. Lovely to have you on the panel. Now, also, can I ask Salvador to introduce yourself, please?
Hi, David. Great to be here. My name is Thorold Flemming Jensen. I'm working with Sapiens in the Nordics, with the customers focusing on the Nordics, but working across the board together with the teams in Sapiens, of course, both delivering and selling our solutions and services.
Salvador, welcome to the panel. Thanks very much for joining us. And Ronen Ram, please.
Hi, David. Nice to be here. I'm Ronen Ram, responsible for Sapiens Managed Services. And Sapiens Managed Services in the last few years, it's mainly focusing on cloud, on customers that moving to cloud.
Excellent. Well, let's kick off then. Cloud is one of those topics that's often talked about, and a lot of insurers are moving towards the cloud in varying different ways. But what's the business case for moving to the cloud? Why move to the cloud? Ralph, can I start with you from an AWS perspective?
Yeah, certainly, David. Be glad to share some thoughts here. So, from the AWS perspective and working with Sapiens, I would say, cost is always the very compelling part of the initial conversation. And, it's the frequent conversation starter, David. But the number one reason that insurers and businesses of all types are moving to the cloud is that agility and speed, which, they can change their customer experience. So for a lot of our customers in the cloud, you can provision literally thousands of servers in minutes and access over 175 services. And they include such things as SageMaker, and that enhances analytics and underwriting, or Amazon Connect to create a richer customer experience. And these tools are there so that you can put them together and use however you want. So you get from an idea to implementation several orders of magnitude faster. Let me say a couple of words on agility. Fast resourcing essentially means that customers can very quickly develop and roll out new applications and insurance products. And it means teams can experiment and innovate more quickly. So if an experiment fails, you can always deprovision those resources without a lot of risk. Tightly coupled to agility.
Can I just ask, Ralph, what does deep provisioning of those resources mean?
Yeah, so you can start a set of servers or resources, whether it's compute resources or storage resources, kind of on the fly. And then if you're spinning it up for experimentation or otherwise, you can deprovision or reduce those to zero. And that variable is your variable expense, essentially, going back to the cost equation. If that makes sense, David.
It does. Thank you very much. Ralph, thanks very much for that kind of opening description of the benefits. I just wanted to go for Salvador. What are your thoughts on the benefits of moving to the cloud?
For sure, this is what we see with our customers. Agility, elasticity, flexibility. These are things that are very important to our customers. And today, insurers are providing services to their customers, both sales and claims services, online, in apps. The usage of the services is quite volatile, so it's not necessarily easy to predict when users are using the service. It's certainly not calling operators in the daytime, in business hours. It's all around the clock. So it might be also driven by events, driving customers into portals, into the apps, doing things. Being able to provision automatically infrastructure to cope with the traffic, the load, and all of that is of great importance. And this is a huge driver, in my opinion.
Thank you. And certainly elasticity, I take to mean the ability to provision services very, very quickly, automatically, to meet the demands of customers or whatever the throughput is, or batch processing or whatever. Fantastic. Thanks so much for that. Ronen, what do you see as the benefits of moving to the cloud?
I will add to what Valdor said, maybe one area, which is the security and the regulation. Security is one of the main topic. There is no customer that going to the cloud without checking the security. The investment that the cloud, the Amazon are doing in the security is much higher compared to any data center on-premise that they can find in the market. And it's critical. The last year, we saw a spike in all the cybercrime, and this is critical in order to make sure that they're protecting their clients, their customers, but to make sure that also they're meeting the GDPR and other compliance. And the cloud environment giving you all these benefits out of the box.
Fantastic, Ronen. Thanks very much. So let's explore the journey with Tia, that Tia went on to move into the AWS cloud. Salvador, can you take us through the journey that you undertook, why you did it, and how you approached it, please?
Yeah, I think some of the drivers we have already talked about, but it's a natural choice. The people we have in the company, the developers, the experts, they are using some of the technologies, the frameworks and the tools at Amazon. It's a natural choice for them. For us to be able to build on the expertise in AWS on security, like Ronen is talking about, and the ease of using and provisioning the services is just a natural choice. So this is a clear reason for why we chose AWS. Also, what we are building is front ends to back end systems. You can say digital services on top of the core systems. These are solutions that are developed continuously. We are deploying continuously new features and new demands in the market from the end users of how they want to engage with the insurers. So all of that is built into the DNA of AWS and really easy to apply to the solutions we are using. So it's just a natural choice, David. It comes naturally also for the people developing to these frameworks. So this is at least one of the reasons. It's a household name with everybody in the cloud space. So it also there's some trust in using AWS when we go out to customers and talk to them about the services we are providing.
Salvador, thank you very much. Yeah, it comes natural to you. It's a natural thing to do. Love it. Can I bring Ronen in now? How easy was it for you to move from on-premise to the cloud?
So we have actually three types of customers that are moving to the cloud. We have the first type of customer that is part of the transformation. He purchased a new system of Sapiens, is moving from legacy on-premise to the cloud. We are not running too many customers that don't want to move to the cloud because they're buying a system for the next few years, and the cloud today is a pretty standard worldwide. The second type of customer that we see that moving to the cloud is customer that doing an upgrade, core upgrade, maybe the next product core is running on the cloud, and they want to be there as part of this in order to take advantage of the testing cycle to move it to the cloud. This is again part of this project that we're moving the customers. So it's end-to-end. We're responsible from the development up to the production. Example like this, we had probably in the last 12 months, I would say 15 customers that moved this way. And the last type of customer we have that moving to the cloud, actually the one that looking on security and want to improve it, and they want to get more from availability of the cloud. And this is more moving it in a very quick way to AWS or to the cloud, and the process is very straightforward. We did in the last 6 months almost 20 customers that moved this way. So it's very streamlined process that we know how to do, how to assess it, and what need to be tested in order to be there. But we have a very structured process to take them and to move them to the cloud.
Thanks very much. Can I ask, one of the things I hear is about private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud. Ralph, can I perhaps ask you to explain from an AWS perspective, what are the various options, what are the pros and cons of those options, that kind of thing?
Yeah, so there are variations here, and to some extent, it's ways to get started. Oftentimes, you might see, and to Ronan's point, and to Thor's around compliance, there might be initial initiations around a hybrid cloud so that you can keep certain data in certain environments and others as you have time to migrate in the what I would call the pure cloud. So we see that kind of development going on. And the second thing, and all those previous comments by Thor and Ronan were right on. I think it's to some companies is, what do I do to get started? And I would just say, we live in this world of agile methodologies and minimal viable products. So the cloud complements those kinds of constructs in the way we do business. Use the cloud for that kind of purpose. Get started. Don't let perfection get in the way of progress.
Fantastic. Well, thank you. And question: some of the people who are thinking about moving to the cloud will be thinking about sort of security, compliance, effectively moving their crown jewels of their policy admin system to the cloud. What are the kind of different approaches to overcome these sorts of challenges around security and compliance? Perhaps starting with Thorvaldor, with you.
Yeah, I think this is quite interesting, and I think Ronan is right when he explained it earlier from a data center perspective. It is complicated, and it is getting increasingly complicated to handle regulatory requirements from a security and compliance perspective. And you can look at some of the regulation in Europe, which is challenging for many vendors of these services. The interesting thing is that we have seen for the past 10 years, we've gone from not believing in the cloud vendors being able to be a secure place for these systems containing data to where we are today, where regulators really don't believe that companies by themselves are able to comply with security requirements. So you need the big cloud providers to help you do it. And this is what we see implementing for our customers, moving into the cloud together with them, that there is so much tools and services that can help us handle the security and compliance that they would not be able to build themselves if they were doing it in an on-prem setup. And this also speaks to the hybrid, where you can choose to move the applications that are or the systems that require special compliance and security to the cloud to cater for that, which is completely the opposite of 10, 15 years ago. So it's an interesting development.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And Ronan, just to bring you in here, obviously you've got a lot of experience. You're helping a lot of clients across the Sapiens spectrum move from the on-prem to the cloud. What would you say to someone who says, well, actually, I'm a bit concerned about the security or compliance issues? What would you say to them?
So we actually in Sapiens, we adopt the methodology of zero trust. And the meaning of zero trust is creating circles of protection around the different entity that using the customer system. we actually go putting circle around the customer itself, around the network, around the operators that running it, and the meaning, and all of these different systems that we put in place, reporting actually to a central location with the 724 with a playbook, meaning that we can run automatically every type of event in the security. We upgrading the security. We set a standard of security that we're taking to all our customers. And I can tell you that until now, when we're meeting customers and we're showing them what we're doing, they appreciate highly that we are securing their data. We're actually investing in this a lot to make sure that they keep secure. And the fact that we have now a standard and the tools that we're using, we keep updating all the tools, because this is a never-ending fight to make sure that they're cyber and against the cyber, and to make sure the data is protected.
Brilliant. Thanks very much. Alas, we are out of time now, so it leaves me to say thank you very much for each of our panelists for this intriguing conversation and discussion around moving to the cloud, the clear benefits of doing that. We're going to be revisiting this topic in tomorrow's session, but